Hey everyone, welcome to Inside South Florida. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Jason Carter. As always, a fantastic show for you. Up first, mother, model, and entrepreneur Kelly Hughes made history in this year's Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Issue, becoming the first model in the publication's nearly 60-year history to show her C-section scar, furthering the conversation on body positivity. Now, Kelly and I sat down where she shared just how meaningful the experience was and its impact. Take a look. Kelly Hughes, good morning. Welcome to ISF.
Hi, thank you for having me, Jason.
Of course, I have to start by saying congratulations on making history. The first model woman ever in the history of SI to pose showing their C-section scar. It's a big deal for a publication like SI. How does that feel?
It's so incredible. Actually, when I did the photo shoot, I didn't realize that I was the first. But the amazing thing about Sports Illustrated is that they do things like this to pave the way for the fashion industry and for our world in general. And it's so incredible how they embrace this.
Embracing it. The conversation you had with SI, how did it all come to fruition? Because as I said, SI, they're in control of their brand. They know what they want to sell and say through imagery. How did the conversation come about?
That was really exciting, actually, because a friend of mine that's a model and also a mom that lives in New York, and I live here in Miami, she mentioned it to me that they were looking for a girl that had a C-section scar. So it was their idea, and they partnered with Freedom Mom because they have a few pay with change partners on this issue. And they're all about that, embracing and normalizing these stigmas in society. And that was what was so incredible. So I reached out to my agency and let them know, hey, guys, by the way, guys, just in case you forgot, I have a C-section scar and I live in Miami, and they were shooting in the Keys. So for me, it was like perfect. So they reached out to SI, I sent some pictures over, and the rest was history.
The rest was history. And you've made history.
History.
The story behind the scars, you gave birth to a beautiful baby boy 3 years ago, had a C-section, of course. Then you had to go back into the hospital?
Yeah, unfortunately, I had planned on having a hypnobirth. I didn't want any medicine at all. And a lot of that was just because I heard about the recovery process is longer with a C-section. I didn't want the scar. Being in the modeling industry, obviously, like I said, there's a lot of stigmas around that. And obviously I wanted to bounce back, which is another stigma that not all women just bounce back and rush back into work. But I felt like I did have a lot of pressure to get back to work. So my choice was natural birth. And when I went into the hospital, things didn't work out as planned. After 36 hours, I had a C-section. And that was really truly my first lesson in motherhood, because you have to be very selfless in motherhood, and you have to obviously think of the health of your child first and yourself. So I had the C-section, but when I went home, I wasn't sure. I was in a lot of pain. I thought that might have been normal. However, when I got back to the hospital, I had this huge infection by my uterus. It was a collection of fluids, and they had to do another surgery 8 days later to cut it out. So it was a pretty intense process in the end of the day.
But here we are, full circle, and just what that yielded is, you talked about amplifying and being loud with the message. You have the hashtag Scar Love Challenge, which is doing that. In conjunction with giving back, you're partnering with Estes Beauty. You donate $1 to World of Children, I want to get this right, World of Children, and you're helping disadvantaged children all over the world. That's super cool to see. Something that, you thought is stigmatized, but now it's destigmatizing and also doing even better work.
Yeah, 100%. When I saw all the messages, and I read every single message from everyone that DM'd me after this was posted from Sports Illustrated's Instagram, and I just felt this responsibility, because I said, wow, if this empowered so many people by seeing the photos in Sports Illustrated, how much more would it empower them if they had a safe haven or a place to go to see hundreds or thousands of people embracing their scars? And I think that that's what this is about. And the idea with Scar Love Challenge was it was for any scar, or anyone. It didn't have to be limited to C-section scars, because I got messages from everyone. I even got messages from men just saying how incredible this was.
People liken scars to badges of honor.
Right? 100%.
Yeah, and to have someone as yourself. And again, in a publication like Sports Illustrated, and I say that because I've read SI my whole life. The Swimsuit Issue, of course, we have Tyra. We've had so many beautiful women on the cover who have talked about what you said in the modeling industry, the stigma, having the perfect body, having to look a certain way, being seen through that gaze of perfection. And you're saying, I'm perfect with my imperfections. It's a powerful thing. That message is like not lost on anybody, Kelly.
Yeah.
You are busy. You're a mom. You are also a successful businesswoman, a jewelry brand, Hughes. You guys have to see the bling on her wrists. These are incredible. Everyone's wearing it. Alicia Keys, J Balvin, Maxwell, Young Thug. How did you get into jewelry?
Yes, it was an incredible moment actually in my life, because it was one of those twofold moments again where I had to take a step back to take a step forward. It was 2009, the economy was kind of slipping a little bit in the mortgage crisis. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I was a full-time model. I got a job at a restaurant one day a week just in case, because I just wanted to make sure those bills were paid. And my manager was from Greece. He was wearing a bunch of bracelets. I said, hey, let me make you something for fun. And really the rest was just happening on its own. People just came to him and said, where'd you get the bracelet? And it was word of mouth. It started spreading. And it was truly a God-given talent I didn't know I had. So I always tell people, don't be afraid to take a step back, to take like 20 steps forward. Because sometimes we just need that moment to find our talents that we didn't know we had. So,
love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, and where can we find you on social?
So my social media is Kelly Hughes, Hues, and Instagram. And obviously the website I said for the jewelry is buyhughes.com.
Great, good stuff. It has been so wonderful having you on Inside Top Floor. The images in SI are beautiful. You're beautiful, and
Thank you,
the world's your oyster, Kelly.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.